them today as well. We fulfill that role as a team. Right? So, in terms of assessment now, let's just have a look. And if we're looking for the analysis aspect, which is green, right, are there any of these that have got more than one green card? Okay, this one's got one. Which one?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay, so they actually look like the winners in that respect. Right? Who voted for them out of interest? Right, Valerie voted, and who else on Jeremy's team? Right, what made that successful in terms of that objective? Jeremy? What made that? Okay, girlies, what made that one a bit more successful? You obviously read it. Or did you read it?
No, that's because I research, I meant like, yeah, understanding of all this stuff.
Okay, right.
So it looked really good, so
So we think Jeremy's maybe gone for the visuals.
yeah.
Right, would that be fair if I was an art examiner?
No,
Somebody spent 2 years on a project and I just marked it because of visuals.
I didn't read the analysis, but I didn't read
You've
it.
got to read it, okay. Well, that's kind of what not to do. Thank you, Jeremy. Right, Grace, what were you going to say?
It's because they've like explained it, like explained what they can actually see in the painting, and then they've said why and like, you know.
Didn't you want to do that?
I think we explained it.
Good, good. Guys, don't keep jumping in. Right, Jeremy, in fairness, you've had your time. Yeah? So they've fully explained it. Right, that's really good. So it's not just like yes or no answers. Right, fantastic. So the next one then, sorry, whose team was that, by the way? Right, okay, so you were the analyzer. Yeah, I thought you would do that well. Well done. Okay, so the next one then, we were looking for experiments with media, right? What we love to do in art the most, but who has done it in the most kind of meaningful way when we look again at that criteria?
This one.
Right, so we're looking for purple now. Who's got two purple? Oh, wow. Okay, so the mid, okay, that one's got two purples, that one, and this one over here. Right, so these were the most successful ones. Right, again, who casted the vote on this one? Okay, Sean, would you maybe like to say what made that successful?
Because that person used like different brush strokes and then different colors of paint.
Brilliant. All right.
It's very interesting.
Say that again.
It's very interesting.
Very interesting. Okay, good. Right. What would we say? Right. What Sean just said then was fantastic. What would we say using a brush stroke, Jeremy? What would we say using a brush stroke actually is? There's a word in here that says what it is. Good, right? Really, really good, right? So it's not just using, she's used appropriate media, but she's used an appropriate technique with the brush strokes as well. All right, that's wonderful. That's a really good example. And who did that one again? Valerie, be proud. It's lovely. Right, another example. Let's just finish, because there's a few more of these. Right, so we're looking for the experiments. And maybe somebody who casted the vote on either of them say why it was successful. Yeah.
This one was successful because they've like included what they've actually seen in there. They haven't just done a random picture using media. They've linked to the people and like the colours and stuff. They probably could have used more than 2 medias.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? And that says on there about selection, right? Doing a selection and making a good choice as well. All right, I agree. That's actually a very successful piece, isn't it? That team's effort. Well done. Right, okay, then the last one. Okay, so we're looking for the blues now. Right, so we're looking for, we've used our prior knowledge of the shells, what we did in term 1, but how we could use those shells to develop and kind of use the artist's influence as well. Right, so looking at the shells, who's got the strongest development? These have got 2, so it's this one. Okay, and that one's got 1, that one's got 1, this one's got 1 as well. In fact, everybody's got a score. Oh, okay. Everyone's got 1. Okay, right. So Right then, so looking at this one now, we're looking at the shell drawing. What makes that one successful in terms of our assessment? How it's developed?
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the shell, yeah. Like the techniques of the lines
Yeah.
used with a marker pen, right?
Okay, so techniques of the lines using a marker pen, but how has that developed the shell idea of it?
Yeah, and the colours.
The colours, good, yes.
So they've like recreated the structure instead of the structure being that like whatever that is. They've used a shell instead.
It's good, it's meaningful, isn't it? Right? Things that people could have done in that area perhaps to improve was to look at the keywords here. I think you've all done working drawings, guys, but have you also done annotations and bits of mind maps? Right? So it's not just about the visuals. Remember, Jeremy is going to go for the visual, how it looks, but we've got to get a bit deeper when we go to IGCSE, right? Making things meaningful and annotate them. Alright guys, well I think you've done pretty well today. This is a very advanced lesson for you, right? Not only to produce this work, to work in teams, but to understand what is it that examiners actually look for. Alright, so I think you've done really well. I just want to give you a little bit of homework just to extend on this. All I'm going to ask you to do, right, you can make a note of this in a few minutes guys. For next lesson, I want this to change to you guys leading the start of lessons now. This is what I do with IGCSE. We invite people to find examples of artwork and actually start the lesson off by showing it, girls, showing it to people. Okay, so just before we get going, if you can make a note of that and then bring all of the sheets to the middle table, okay, and I'm going to make a display of this. Okay guys, so once you've made a note of this, all guys, you can take a photo, okay, it'll be time to go.